Hi everybody, today we're going to talk about how does fight or flight affect your body and your mind. Hi everybody, my name is Dr. Cindy Zaffis. I'm a chiropractor and I'm a diplomate in addictionology and compulsive disorders. So today we're going to talk about how does fight or flight affect your body and also actually your mind. So back in 2001, I got certified in addictionology, and my undergrad, I took a lot of computer engineering classes, so we learned how to develop protocols, and I had already developed really great protocols on sugar cravings, and I decided I wanted to develop protocols on menopause and addiction. So I took a bunch of classes, and at the beginning, I knew there was something going on with the nervous system, but I couldn't figure out what it was. So I took a bunch of classes, and then I learned about, it's called sympathetic dominance. So the autonomic system, which is in your nervous system, it actually controls your organs and your muscles. So if you get into an emergency, then your whole body changes so that you can run or fight. And so that's called fight or flight or sympathetic. And then your autonomic system has parasympathetic, and that's where your body heals and it rests and is more the reproductive mode. So the sympathetic dominance, what happens is you get into an emergency, and then your body is ready to go. Both your mind and your body's kind of ready to go, either fight or run. And then after that emergency is over, you're actually supposed to get out of sympathetic and back into parasympathetic, which is the healing mode. But what's happening, I'm seeing this more and more, is that the nervous system never quite goes to parasympathetic. So for some people, after the emergency, it could be like a day, a week, a month, years, the autonomic system is still in a sympathetic dominance. Okay, so it's still slightly in that fight or flight mode. So I'm going to go over how the mind and the body is affected. So first of all, when you have an emergency, you want your body to go into a fight or flight. Okay, so what happens in the mind is you have quicker thinking, and that helps you evaluate danger and make rapid decisions. So that is super important if you're in a dangerous situation, you're in a situation, that could be dangerous to your life. You want to be able to think quickly. Now, after the emergency is over, you want your body and your mind to go into parasympathetic. But if it doesn't, if it stays into sympathetic dominance, then these are the things that will happen. Now, you have to understand that always being in a slightly sympathetic dominance mode, it'll make you more tired. It affects your hormones. It affects your cortisol. You can't focus as well. So this is super important. It's very much a missing link that a lot of doctors, both natural and traditional, don't know about and don't address and resolve. So this is a very, very important thing to know and address and resolve. So we actually, in our clinic, we use the brain formula. It used to be called Well Adjust, but that's what we use in our clinic, and it works really well. So I'm going to talk about what happens when it's after the emergency and your brain is still like in more of a sympathetic fight or flight mode. So this is what happens. A lot of times you still have that busy monkey mind, so it's just kind of going all over the place. You can't really focus. Okay, that's not really good. You're more irritable, more impatient. It's really not good. You want to be more in a parasympathetic mode when you're thinking kind of day-to-day tasks. It's better to be in a parasympathetic mode because you'll stress handle much better if it's not an emergency and you're in a parasympathetic. You work better, you think better. A lot of times people say they don't feel like themselves. So if they're in sympathetic dominance because they're edgy and they're intolerant, and then a lot of patients, when they get out of that sympathetic into parasympathetic, they'll just say to me, I've heard this hundreds of times, oh, I feel more like myself, okay? Because once you get into parasympathetic, you think more clearly, your mind isn't going, you're not irritable. So a lot of people, once they get out of that sympathetic dominance into parasympathetic, They're just like, oh my gosh, I just feel like myself again. And I've had patients where they've been very irritable to their significant others, and they kind of feel bad because they've been so irritable with their husbands. But so that sometimes happens as well, and vice versa, husbands and wives. Also, just less sense of humor tends to be, and also sleeping patterns are disrupted, because when you're still in that fight or flight, that can disrupt cortisol. Cortisol levels, and that can disrupt sleep. So that's kind of what happens with the mind if you're in a sympathetic dominance. So in other words, the emergency is done, and your brain hasn't gone completely into parasympathetic. It's still in a slightly sympathetic mode. So this is usually what I see with patients. And then a lot of times when they get into parasympathetic, they just feel more focused, more themselves, more effective, better stress handling, actually. So let's go over what happens with the physical body during the fight or flight emergency mode. So basically, the digestion is shut down during dangerous situations, and the energy is diverted towards the muscles in the heart. Okay, so this is very important because some people have a lot of digestive issues, and one aspect of that is they haven't completely gone into parasympathetic, which is the healing mode. So it's really important if you're in sympathetic dominance, you need to get out of that, because that will help your digestion. Now, we do actually have a quiz where we do a test. You can take a test to see if you're in that sympathetic dominance, and you can just click the link below to get that quiz. So another thing that happens is the heart beats faster. So in order to feed more blood to the muscles for running and fighting, the heart beats faster to accomplish this. Okay. So nausea and butterflies in your stomach. Again, blood is diverted away from the digestion, which can lead to feelings of nausea or butterflies. Again, so the digestion's kind of put on hold. Now, a lot of people, they have like burning stomach because the tissues in their stomach, the stomach lining doesn't heal. So again, you want to get out of that sympathetic dominance mode into parasympathetic so that you can then heal kind of the inside of the stomach, so you don't have some of that burning. So that's something good to know. And then your hands get clammy. So as the blood is shunted to major muscle groups, the blood vessels in the hands contract in order to accomplish this. So you're shunting all your blood into the major muscle groups so you can run or fight. And then muscle tension, muscles all over the body tense in order to get ready for running or fighting. Muscles may tremble or shake as a way to get ready for action. Okay. So breathing becomes quicker and shallower. So breathing quicker takes in more oxygen to run the muscles. This makes the body more able to fight or run. Okay. Adrenal glands release adrenaline. Adrenaline is quickly released in order to signal other parts of the body to be ready. Okay, I think we all know what adrenaline is. And then palms get sweaty. When the body is in danger, it sweats in order to cool down. This is a very effective mechanism to stay cool during the emergency situation. Okay, so this is when you're in that dangerous situation, your body it's in sympathetic, it's getting you ready to run or fight. So I'm gonna show you a testimonial of a patient, because I think people understand probably the physical part. But I don't think people realize that you can be in more, a sympathetic dominance mode, and that can really affect not only your thinking, your day-to-day life, but it'll affect cortisol, it affects hormones, energy level, focus, all that stuff. So I want to show you a testimonial from somebody who it's well-adjusted, the brain formula, he took that. But I wanted to show you a testimonial because as you get from a sympathetic dominance to a parasympathetic, you think clearer, your mind calms down. It's a better way to handle like day-to-day stress. So I'm going to show you that testimonial. Okay, so you started taking Well Adjust and then also doing treatments and some other supplements. Let us know how you felt after this treatment started.
So I've been taking the Well Adjust for about 4 months, and a side effect I wasn't expecting to have happen is what it did is actually made me just think a lot clearer, helped me kind of prioritize throughout my day of what I really need to do next to pretty much get all my tasks done throughout a certain day. Kind of as a business owner, you kind of go, okay, what do I need to do first? And it just kind of helps you, as odd as it sounds, kind of prioritize where you need to start, make sure your brain is fully functioning so that way you can get from one task to the next without wasting a ton of time trying to do it. And that's pretty much how it's helped right there. And then it's also helped my energy level be a little bit higher than it was before, where it gives me the ability to not have that little middle of the day, that lull. And so it's helped a lot with energy as well.
So you're saying, tell us how your business has been since you've been taking the Well Adjust.
So actually, because I can think and concentrate a little bit better, it has actually made a huge impact even on my business life, where I've actually had the best months in business ever since I started taking it. I think partly just because I can kind of prioritize and figure out what to do next the fastest and make sure that I'm a little bit quicker on my feet, I guess is the easiest way to say it. So it has definitely made a difference even on my business life as well as even just personal, like mental life as well. So.
And do you feel like you're calmer or?
Overall, yeah. I mean, I think just because I can think a little bit clearer, I think I'm less stressed and a little bit less, kind of, my mind's not going as many places. So I think it's a little bit calmer for that reason. So I hope you got something out of that testimonial, and I hope that you've gotten value out of this video. So I just want to thank you again for watching. And if you want to take the quiz to see if your nervous system's in a sympathetic dominance mode, if it's slightly in a fight or flight, we do have a quiz you can take, and then how to work with that, how to resolve that, and that you just click the link below. So thank you for watching.